Now it's really cold this morning, so we're going to have to plan our day out accordingly. This is so far the coldest day of the year, and it did drop below freezing overnight. And like everything we do on the shop, we try to arrange things so we're inside the house the beginning of the day when it's cold, and outside if we're going to do any outdoor activities today. And it's the first day of the year. We have frost on, literally on the pumpkin, but we still have some leaves. My God, what a beautiful, beautiful fall this has been. So as I get down to the shop after having coffee, one of the things I've had good luck with is this heating vent. This heating vent helps a lot. I brought the parts in. They've been sitting up there for about an hour already. I had put some epoxy on the back over the carbon fiber reinforcement, and that obviously by now is totally dry. I was really concerned that this part was going to become like an oil can, like a drum, and it was going to have more spider cracks in the gel coat. Now, I'm just paranoid about it because I really want this job, as I've said before, to be as good as possible. And you can see we have not had a real good luck in the past with some of these parts. They've had so much vibration issues, and from the crash and other things involved in this. So we want to try to make this, the whole purpose of everything we do is to make it as good as we possibly can. So is that what I've always tried to tell people and try to explain to people, whether it's modeling or whether it's working on these parts or doing carbon fiber parts, whatever it is in your life, to do it efficiently, it's a challenge. Now in our case, we work around the weather most of all, and we work around things drying, paint drying, things that have to happen before the second thing happens. So today, planning out the day is going to be challenging. It's really cold out there. And the parts we've tried to salvage from the dumpster, and this is going to be one of the next ones. But I do them one at a time, and here's the whole point of it all. If you skip steps, you can always skip steps. Here's an example, a good example. You could take this, hit it with some kind of 1000 grit paper, prime it, put another finish right on top of it. That would probably crack within a year, or maybe sooner. Or maybe by the time you get the motor started. But anyway, we're hoping this paint job is going to have some longevity. There's a lot of extra steps, and we're willing to do them. So the first thing I'm doing with this part, I'm looking around, see these little, and usually they're on the edges or on the corners, little imperfections like this. Now they can be fixed with Bondo, with that material called red lead, but I like to fill them with thin CA, a drop of thick CA, and then just block sand back over it. Now the reason for doing that, first off, it's a lot quicker than waiting for the Bondo to dry, but the material is the same hardness as what I'm doing. So as the part is out in the sun and it gets cold and it's in a freezing garage, you don't have those funny little lines showing up where there's body work. After I've sanded this, what I'm trying to put this on camera, it only takes one drop of this, and I just need to build a surface up. I'm not sure you really can see this. Sometimes you can do it in 2 or 3 little steps. As soon as that dries, I'll sand this whole edge. I also, every time I sand it, I'll radius the edges. And then the final thing, when I have all the little body work done, all the little imperfections that I can see, at this point, I'll put one more coat of primer on, a very thin coat. Now, I use my hand in a rubber glove, and I absolutely can't feel where that area was. So that was one thing we wanted to address. Now down here, you're not going to even see this. This is underneath the motorcycle, but I want to address it as long as I have this apart. Get this radius in here nice, just to make this a little nicer. And one thing is always handy is having these, well, anything that's round, a tube, anytime you have an internal, a radius like that, this will help a whole lot. This is really a part you're not going to see, but you know what? I'll see it. And now putting a coat of thin CA over that will seal it right back up. What I want to do here is I just want to get this roughed up that the primer and the paint are going to stick. Next step, I'm going to hopefully get the part wet sanded with a soft block, and then the last thing, dress off all the edges. Absolutely dress every edge off, and then look at it one more time for any imperfections, and then put that very, very light coat of primer on. Now, there's nothing to stop you from doing this a second, a third, a fourth time until you're perfectly happy, because you skip steps and you pay. Believe me, this is something, and this is why I only do this work in the winter, because in the middle of the summer I'd want to be going for a ride. Today I can wait. Now once I get all the sanding done with the block, and that takes a little time, this will pick up even more little high spots and little imperfections that I want to work on. Now we're all dried off, tack rag down, and it's really cold outside, so I know the paint's going to get a good bond, and it'll probably take the better part of the day to dry. Remember, cold weather, paint dries a lot slower. Now that's just a thin coat of primer, and that's got to dry. And depending on the temperature, and it's coming up on 40 degrees, but it's not there yet. Predicted 40, the warmest part of the day. Now even though we, it's really funny, even though we tried to wait for the warmest part of the day here, this paint is still not really dry, so I've decided to let it dry overnight, not to take a chance. So the way the day played out here leaves me a little bit of time for a ride. Haven't burned some two-stroke oil in a while. Today's a good day to do it. Looks like we have some blue skies, and we're coming up on 40 degrees, and our paint is cooking. Boy, was this an unexpected treat to get this ride today. You know what? I think we just have enough time. I'm not sure. See, it's been cooking out there for, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever. I think we may even get that painted white today. It may be even our lucky day. Now this is the spare cafe seat that I have for the RD. Now, one of the things I'm going to do, probably next couple days, maybe tomorrow, get down to Gavin's and have him match this color. Now I spent a lot of time getting this color to be, I don't know if it shows on the camera or not, and doing the paint work and getting everything lined up, and we'll be doing a similar thing on the FZR, of course. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching and sharing, and our rides are always, there's an unexpected treat in every ride. Today was unexpectedly a nice day. And thanks for watching.